Alright, I'll admit it. I have vagina fatigue. And I realize that God made a vagina for a reason, so men will talk to you. Having this golden vagina gives you preferential treatment for hiring at corporations and at the government, and it guarantees that you're not going to have a dangerous, dirty job. It's not people with vaginas that die in coal mines. No, it's guys with penises.
In this segment, we're going to look at some of the ways dangerous women are prepared to trick a man into marrying her.
I am sick of the feminist hypocrisy. They claim to be independent, yet they want Uncle Sam to be their sugar daddy. They want the government out of their uterus, but they want the government to pay for their birth controls and abortions.
Men deserve to be recognized for the feats they've accomplished, and the creativity, the artistry, and the compassion they bring to their daily lives. I believe men are demonized, not canonized. That masculinity is becoming almost criminalized, and that whole generations are being sacrificed for an ideology.
Now, not only is feminism a crime against men, it's also a huge disaster for women, whether they recognize it or not. But today, we're going to be talking about how it affects men. Feminism seeks to, among other things, stamp out masculinity and make males obsolete.
Whenever I experience the mangina's propensity to bow to every whim of a woman, I can honestly say it reminds me of Dracula's assistant, Igor, as he desperately tries to attain his master's affection.
We live in a society that won't allow women to fail, no matter how badly they fuck up their lives. We just won't let them hit bottom. And, you know, what feminism has been interested in, all it really seems to have been interested in, is freeing women from any kind of patriarchal obligation to men or to society. But at the same time, to hold on to as many of their entitlements as they can. And we've pretty much not just allowed them to hold on to those entitlements, but we've allowed them to expand them.
In my opinion, misandry exists as a direct product of feminism.
The hatred of men serves a purpose for government, charities, and large-scale businesses. The endless prevalence of anti-male propaganda serves a dual purpose. It's done primarily to turn women against men.
But it's also about turning men against themselves and getting men to think the worst of themselves. It's about creating guilt.
Feminism is responsible for poisoning our view of men to the extent that men have become what can only be described as a disposable sex. The attack on men is carried out at many levels of society and across many different issues. Specifically, men are targeted in the realms of domestic violence, child abuse, fatherlessness, equality, health, and education. The Stephen Lawrence inquiry described institutional racism in the police force. However, no inquiry has ever been undertaken into the institutional misandry throughout our society.